Okay, so it looks like Elon is going to try to start the third party. And basically what this third party is basically the Democrats, just moderate. That's what's going to happen. You know, I said this. It's what we need in politics, what we need our leaders to be are moderates on either side. So essentially the Democrats are fucking finished. Their money is dried up, and it wouldn't shock me if they use taxpayer dollars to help fund their endeavors. I don't have any proof, but the way that they've fought so hard to keep the U.S. AID going forward, that tells me like that is a huge thing for their income. I don't know, maybe not, maybe I'm wrong. See, I kind of look at things as like I have a certain street smarts. Definitely not like the most street smart person out here, but I have an element of street smarts mixed with different types of intelligence. So I definitely am a skeptical person. I look at things skeptically. When we came out with the first, like in 2020 and 2021, and you know, was a warp speed, you know what I'm talking about, I never took it. I was even looking to go bankrupt if I had to, if I was going to get fired for not taking that. So I'm a skeptical person. I'm still alive. You know, I didn't die from not taking that substance. And I look at things politically. I think that people are just tired of politics. I think that people have enough going on in their own life that they don't want to spend their time focusing on politics all the time. You know, we should have a general understanding of what's going on, but we don't need to know every single intricate detail of everything. Okay, like, we have our own lives to live. We're essentially running our own businesses. When you have a family, you're essentially running your own business. Like, you're paying all these bills and you're trying to budget, you're running a budget. I know it sounds funny, but like, you're trying to figure out how to bring income in. You're basically running a business. When you're running a life, you're running a business. We're a bunch of small businesses. Maybe we're not, producing stuff on an individual, like, well, we are. It's just under somebody else's paying for us to be able to do it, unless you do it on your own. And that's what's cool is you can. The reason why I don't want to run a business or have a business, because I already feel like I have a business. My life, I feel like that's not. You need to take more responsibility. Says who? Who says I need to take more responsibility? When you live my life, you're not a man. I'm not a man? Okay. I'm not a man, I guess. Because I don't want to I don't want to be working by the time my eyes are open till they go to sleep every fucking day. I guess I'm fine. I'm not a man. I've had kids. I've raised them to be adults. I've been on my own for a long fucking time. Here and there, I've been a little bit homeless when it comes to, not having my own home, having to stay at families' houses for a brief period of time, a couple of times. But, when I first moved to Missouri during 2020, I had a place set up for me. My mom found a place, and she fronted the money, and as soon as I got here, I gave her the money. So I had a place right off the bat as soon as I got here. And if my credit score wasn't screwed up, I would have been able to do the same thing. But, I feel fortunate where I'm at. I have a place. I have a job. Is my life the greatest? No. But anyway, so people don't want to think about politics all the fucking time because they're living their lives. They're trying to navigate reality. You know, like they don't want to sit here and like they just want people to go in there and run shit right. Like when you go to work or you work for a company, do you know every single detail about how they run the fucking show? How they run the business? Do you know everything that goes on? No, because you hope that the people who are in charge are doing a good job of running the show. So that's why we elect people to that represent us. Is you hope that they will do things economically feasible so you can provide a good life for now and the future for us and our kids. And yes, it would be nice to be helping other people who are less off, who are less fortunate. Unfortunately, people in my position, we just really can't. We're tapped out. We really can't. I wish I could. You know, I see other people suffering, and I wish I could help out. I wish I could take like some of my skills and go to that country and be able to help, you know, produce things and train people and stuff like that and you know, provide value. But unfortunately, I don't live in that type of reality, and my skills are, you know, looked down on. Blue collar, working man. That shit's looked down on. So anyway, yeah, so he's going to start the third party, and it's going to be a hybrid of Democrat, technocrat, MAGA. It's going to be more diverse. It's going to be, you're going to have the left who are still woke, who are still tripling and quadrupling down the current Democrats, leftists, who are still gonna believe in their bullshit ideology, which is not trendy no more. Your woke shit is not trendy and it's being rejected on all fronts. We've been taking back words. I don't know if I can say them on my channel. Yeah, bully or hate speech. Yeah, all that shit's changing. Some platforms it's a little bit slower than others, but I would hope YouTube starts implementing kind of like Twitter, their policy when it comes to free speech. And let me say what the fuck I want to say. If you put a disclaimer on my channel, you got to be 18 and older to watch this. Whatever. I don't even care if you say it's satirical. I don't care. I want to say what I have to say without being in fear of you banning me. Anyway, yeah, we are going to, all that woke shit, that's out the window. The people who are still holding on to that bullshit and think that's like the narrative, you're a couple years behind now. Like, that shit is gone, dude. Like I said, I think that you know, I think that the American Party, which is Elon's party, will probably it's obviously going to destroy the Democrats. You know, people say, oh, the Democrats will get stronger. Well, so what you're going to have is there are moderate Democrats who are like regular people who don't really pay attention. They label themselves as Democrats because they just go with whatever the mainstream media is. And I think you're going to see major changes in the mainstream media too. I think you're going to see either it becomes less prevalent and you see, you know, big dogs that have big money start buying them out and stop pushing one side or another and just tell me the fucking story. Just tell me what's going on. I don't give a fuck about whatever your opinion is. I don't give a shit if you're on the right or your left. I just want to know what the hell's going on so I can figure out shit for myself. I can figure out opinion for myself. I don't need to be told what to think. Now, a lot of people might. But I think with the legacy media, I think that they're kind of hurting. I think that people are tired of the news. They're tired of the division. They just want to live their lives. And the people who are like, their whole personality is activism, I think that's out the window too. I think that a lot of these protesters are probably getting paid. They're being propped up. Somehow, either their parents pay all their bills, but I think that that's about to come to an end. I don't think that they're going to be able to do that for very much longer. And the kids are going to have to get jobs or try to figure it out. You know, kind of like the hippies back in the day, how the boomers are sellouts. Like, these people were activists back in the day, and they sold out very quickly, didn't they? They became materialistic. You know, they said, fuck free love. This shit doesn't matter. And they conformed. And I think that you will see a lot of these activists who seem like, like a blue-haired, like, conformist. They're conformists. Who have, like, the septum rings or whatever. They think that they're so, like, different from everybody else, when it's like, no, you're just putting on, like, a costume from, like, what a freak would be in the 90s. You're not very original. Like, this shit was original when I was a kid. Like, you're just copying off of people from back in the day. Like, this, you're not original at all. Now the furries or something like that, that's original. But like, just because you put some weird hair dye in your hair and get a couple piercings and tattoos doesn't make your, like, it's so fucking mainstream. You look like a fucking poser. That's what I think. Like, you're a fucking poser, man. But yeah, you'll see a lot of these leftists who are woke, these cultish people, they'll just abandon their ideology. Some of them will hold on to it. The hardcore ones will hold on to it for sure. But that'll probably go more onto the underground, and it might reform into something else. But you're going to see a lot of the people who are just like, they go along with whatever's popular. And the woke was the popular in the narrative. They're going to shift from that bullshit to just, you know, thinking along the lines of, maybe they don't think for themselves, but they'll gravitate towards the people who are free thinkers, which I think that, you know, the most accepting place would be Elon's party, the American Party. Yeah, these, once the money is taken away from these people, you know, this is why I say, like, the entitlements from women when it comes to welfare, if that's just taken away, and if there's, like, wealthy people propping up, like, protests or whatever, when that's gone, so is your movement. Money's the one that drives this crap. If you don't have the money to sustain your life because you're not getting paid to protest anymore, or your parents aren't propping you up, you got bills to pay. So you people will conform very quickly. And if it turns out the way that I'm hoping, what I'm trying to envision, like what Trump is trying to do, is we got tariffs to help bring jobs back. A lot of the jobs are going to be like blue collar jobs because we don't need the white collar workers. We have AI to replace you. We need people to actually do physical things until we have robots that can come out en masse and do that. So all you white collar workers saying there's no jobs. There's jobs out here. It's just jobs you don't want to do because you're too pampered. A job I'm going to do, I have to do real work. You know, it's hard fucking work sometimes. Other times it can be pretty chill, but it's fucking hot as hell in there, man. Not a lot of people are gonna want to do my fucking job, but we're gonna have more jobs out here other than just like service-based fucking jobs. We're gonna actually produce shit. So, and people will get paid more, and the prices will go up in some things, but it'll be cheaper to buy, hopefully, in the long term, which is maybe in a couple years, it'll be cheaper to buy American than it will be to buy from something made in a different country. When I'm looking at the MAGA party, I look at it as I don't feel I'm aligned with them anymore. And see, like I was a Democrat back in the day, and I'm pragmatic. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm a Republican for my whole life, and I'm going to be a Republican no matter what they change with their policies. If you look at the Democrats, they created the KKK, and you can see how they flipped their party. Not to say that things flipped. They try to say like, oh, the Republicans are the racists now, the Republicans are the KKK. Things flip. No, it's just you stop being fucking racist. That's why there isn't so many fucking KKK members anymore, because you abandoned that bullshit. Like, oh, nothing flipped. It's just you guys woke up and stopped being fucking racist. At least the perception you have towards everyone is you're not fucking racist. But I look at the MAGA crowd and it's like what they are becoming is very Christian, which is cool, but they want to defend Israel. So it's basically the party of Israel. I think that's what's going to happen is the Republicans are fucking finished. MAGA's taking over that party. It's just being rebranded into something more moderate. That's what it is. Like the MAGA are mostly they're anti-war, stuff like that. That's what I really liked about them. When I was a Democrat, we were anti-war, we were pro-free speech. That's what MAGA, the core MAGA principles are: free speech, try to stay out of wars, be economically responsible, you know, secure our borders. What Elon's party is going to have a lot of similarities with MAGA is that they're going to be more innovative when it comes to technology, economics. You know, Trump was anti-Bitcoin at one point. You know, he wasn't anti. He just thought it was bullshit, and now he's embracing it. This is what I'm saying. He's pragmatic. That's why I like Trump. He's a pragmatic thinker. He's flexible, just like me. I'm a pragmatic thinker. You know, people, oh, you're a grifter. I'm not a grifter, man. If I see something, if I get some information and I've had a long belief on something, you know, at first I'm probably going to reject the new information at some point, like when I first hear it, because it goes against my ego, right? It's like I'm wrong. Oh no way. This is what I believed for this long, and then I'm proven wrong. Then I have time to stew about it. Like, I just had a little mini debate with somebody in person, and then he's kind of trying to I didn't have all that. He told me some new information I didn't know, and then I'm trying to he didn't like how I was not talking about the subject that he was talking about, and I'm like, dude, I got new information. Just because I get some new information, it takes time for me to think about it. Let me stew about it. When you're in a debate and you're proven wrong, you gotta think about it. You're not just gonna be all of a sudden like, oh, okay, yeah. It's like, okay, let me think about it. Oh shit, okay, maybe I was wrong. Was I wrong? Is this true? Did I not have all the information? Was I ignorant into this? Like, dude, we don't know everything. We have a lot of information, sure, but we don't know everything about everything. So I'm gonna get stuff wrong. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that I'm a grifter. It means I'm a pragmatic thinker that realizes, like, I'm just trying to get things right. I'm just trying to get to the bottom line and to the truth. The whole truth. So, yeah, I think that MAGA isn't going away. I think I'm not too, I don't know. People think that it's going to be so great, and the midterms, we'll see what happens with the midterms. But when it comes to like 2028, which I'm so, like, honestly, I'm so electioned out. Like, I just don't give a fuck. I'm so, like, who else is tired of fucking elections and thinking, because it's just like, as soon as we have an election, we're going right on to the next one. It's like, we just had a presidential election, and then people are basically talking about 2020. I don't give a fuck about 2028, man. 2028 is a long time away. Dude, 2028, we might have a fucking AI president. I don't fucking know. But I am sick. It's like, we just had an election. Like, I'm not, like, I have to live a normal life. Most of us have to live normal lives. We don't have time to sit here and fucking think about politics non-fucking stop. Like, Alex Jones, oh, you're like, dude, I'm a nobody, okay? Like, I really don't fucking matter in the grand scheme of things, okay? So, like, when I share stuff, nobody gives a fuck, okay? Like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm a nobody. People have to find out for themselves. The greatest way people can change is through pain and suffering. That's why I kind of sometimes I'm like, I'm an accelerationist in some type of aspects. And other times I'm like, no, if we have an acceleration, a lot of people will die. I don't want that. I don't want illegals to die. I don't want people to die from a different country. I just want to be able to have a nice, safe, pleasant place to live, where I don't have to wash my back, where I can be prosperous, where I can go to work and feel like I'm better off when I get off of work than I was before I went to work, financially, security-wise. I don't want to feel like I'm just, like, going through the motions. I want to feel like I'm building something. I want to feel like I'm building something for myself as well as the community and society. But what am I building for? So we can build bombs and blow other countries up? You know what I mean? It's just so tiring. It's so tiring. But yeah, so I think what's going to happen is you're going to have a bunch of these people eventually on the left, because they're what they are is they're a bunch of fucking posers on the left. And a lot of them are fucking brainwashed. A lot of people on the left just went with it because it was a popular fucking thing. Once the woke shit isn't popular anymore, which it's looking like it's headed towards not being popular, you're gonna see a lot of people jump ship because they're fucking posers. They're fucking sellouts. They weren't woke to begin with. You're gonna see a lot of dudes. I can't talk. Who thought they were a certain way, and they're gonna go back to the way they were meant to be. I think we're gonna see a lot of things come back down to reality. More logical. Like, people are gonna come back down to reality. What I'm hoping for is the people who have been pampered, who've been living in a bubble, are forced into reality, so they can, stop thinking they're better than everybody, or thinking like things are so great when they're not for the rest of us. especially the working class. The working class are the fucking bottom barrel of this country. It feels like people who don't do nothing get treated better than us. And we're the ones that keep this fucking, like, we are the ones that keep this infrastructure moving forward. Like, it's probably a good idea not to look down. If you're gonna look down, okay, cool, but at least pay us right. It's like, at least one or the other. Like, I don't need my ass kissed. I just want, like, I'm tired of being looked down on by women because of what I do for a living. You know, I'm sure a lot of other fucking men are in the same boat where it's like, oh, I need to have fucking Prince Charming. Blah, blah, blah. I need to have, like, he needs to have everything perfect, and I don't bring nothing but maybe my looks for a couple of years until you get, like, overweight. You know, it's just like, why don't young men want to work hard? Well, there's nothing to really work hard for. There's a scarcity of good women out here. You know, and our society is fucked for right now. But I do think that we could have another baby boom. I really do. You know, like, yeah, we have population decline right now, but we can definitely have another baby boom. It happened before. Why can't it happen again? Well, we need to make it so economically we're a thriving country. People feel better to have babies when they feel their security in the future. They don't feel like the world's going to end. Well, they don't feel like, man, why would I want to bring kids into this world when I'm probably going to end up being homeless myself? You know, like, we need to feel secure in our future. I don't feel secure in any type of social security when I'm old at all. You know, I'm out here saying, like, listen, man, like, I think Bitcoin's a really good thing, and I tell people about it, and a lot of people look at me like I'm fucking stupid. And that's why I don't even bother no more. I'm like, whatever, man. Like, I've done what I can do. If you didn't want to listen, you don't want to do the homework, I can't fucking do it for you. I did my research. Like, I've done my studying. I did this shit years ago. Am I an expert? Did I forget about some of it? Sure, but I understand the concept of it. I did my research about, like, you know, reading The Creature from Jekyll Island or Broken Money by Lynn Alden. It's like understanding what our monetary system really is and how it's fucking, you're a debt slave. That's what we need to get out of, being fucking debt slaves. We are, when I say we are enslaved to the fiat dollar. Not only are us Americans, the whole world is. And the people who have been running the show, they've been doing a shitty fucking job. I don't know if it's intentional. I think it's kind of weird to, like, you know, trying to destroy America, which it seems like they're trying to do. And bring on what? I don't see any 15-minute cities, dude. Like, where is all this shit? Where's the infrastructure? Like, I don't see it at all. Like, what is the point? So, what is gonna happen is, you fuck us up, you take everything from us, and the rich people have everything, then you have a French-style revolution. And that's what'll happen. I mean, that's human nature. People don't have nothing left to live for. They don't give a fuck. And a lot of the youth, that's what they feel. They feel like they don't have nothing to live for. Like, living to raise a family, to provide for your woman, that's a huge purpose. If people in the future, listen up. Your purpose, you don't have a purpose, you feel like you don't have a purpose, this is your purpose. Create other fucking humans. That's your fucking purpose. You know how much of a fucking full-time job it is to raise a fucking human? That's your purpose. Women, your purpose isn't to compete with us and try to gain resources so you can be by yourself when you're, like, old with a bunch of cats. Your purpose, you want to have a family, have a bunch of kids around you, have a man who's going to protect you, a good, solid man. Not some guy that you're going to share with, like, 10 other women because he's got a ton of fucking money. You need to be more humble. accept a lower standard of living because you're not a fucking king and queen. Some of you might end up being, but most of us are average, regular people. Quit being enamored by these people on social media. Quit being enamored by famous people. Fuck them. Like, they're just people. Stop worshiping them. Stop worrying about status so much and worry more about character and like, do they have like beliefs that align with me? Like, quit thinking with your fucking pussy. Like, it's so weird to me that when I was growing up, I always heard that guys think with their dicks all the time. What's in between the legs? And then now I'm seeing that with women. Like, and I put it back on the men. Anyway, this video is everywhere, which is pretty normal for me. I just talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about, what comes to the top of my head. So, and guess what? I can, because this is my channel. And if you don't like it, you don't have to fucking watch it. You don't have to listen to me. I don't get paid for this. Nobody's paying me to say the things I say. I say them because I want to say them. I say them because maybe one little thing might help somebody out. Maybe it'll help out their future. Maybe it'll give them a little bit of hope. Maybe it'll make them change their lives and realize, have a little bit of self-awareness in their life and make things better. Maybe, you know, that's the purpose. That's the goal of this, is to try to, you know, whatever. I don't know. Just, you know, that's it. That's the video.